Jam on toast!
Hey everybody, welcome to The Jam. I'm Cam Ryan, and today the toast is to the 1976 movie, Carrie. This is in response to the SourcefedNerd Movie Club horror movies for October. That I gotta say, maybe Trish got over one. This is not really a horror movie to me. It's almost more of a drama with sci-fi elements, being that there's telekinesis involved. So the short sell in this one is that a young lady discovers she has telekinesis and is subject of a horrible prank at the prom. My love for this one's got to be the development we go through with Carrie. It's super well done. It's a little long, but it's so good you can almost overlook that when you're looking at things academically. We see plenty of backstory on her and her mother. We see a lot of backstory between her and the other girls in the high school. And they even take a little bit of exposition to show us how the teacher feels who's involved with the whole thing. My hate's got to be when, spoilers, mom stabs her after everything that girl's been through and all the things her mom's put her through. That's just the friggin' worst when this happens. She's like almost a broken state of mind at this point, and then, Mom, all I want you to do is hold me. Sure, baby. Really upsetting at that point in the movie. Oh, the undoubtable MVP for this one is Sissy Spacek, the girl who played Carrie. Miss Spacek did a wonderful job of making me care about the character a little bit, playing that crazed, scared look perfect, and playing such a range from scared shut-in to desperate daughter to confident girl at points. It's really amazing when it comes down to it, the range that she shows with that one character. Let's get on with categories. Aesthetics. Like I said, Sissy Spacek did such a wonderful job portraying Carrie and her emotions to really make you see what she's feeling. The music and the sound on this is fantastic. I loved it. I love anything that uses silence correctly. It's amazing. Nowadays, we really only get that like when we're in space. But to use silence to express psychological perception, fantastic. Plus, Mom and the house were all spooky, scary, and if you even notice, spoilers, she made her into Jesus, the one that's in the closet. I even like the idea that she was wearing a pink dress, because A, it makes me say lightish red, B, because that conjunction between being pure white, getting her period, and painted with the curse, to having the powers which are slightly evil. White's a really good color to taint when it comes to representing things, and red was probably the way to go with it because this is her first time really getting to interact with a boy in a positive direction, and not saying that like that was at all a bad thing, just that it was representative. The positives far outweigh the negatives, and I gotta say, the beginning kind of felt like somebody's porn fantasy. I'm all for women and women's bodies, but there was way too much nudity right there at the beginning. There didn't seem to be a point and a purpose of it. It didn't even fit the context, and I don't know how many of you are girls who went to high school, but I'm imagining that's not how it went. Aesthetics gets a 90. Character development. Like I mentioned, I love the character development they put into Carrie. They did such a fantastic job. The only negative of it is that it took too long. Something that should have been able to be done in probably about half the time, but they did give us a lot of it, and maybe we didn't need all of it, and I'm not an expert, so I can't say for a fact that's what it was, but I would have loved to see most of that condensed, and I think it would have been better, and it wouldn't have drawn out as much, so we'd still care about the character by the time we're done with all the development. They definitely developed the mother and the teacher and her enemies, and fortunately enough there was the one convert that they developed because she actually felt bad, and I'm really not sure why he wanted Tommy to take out Carrie for the prom. Maybe she really felt that bad, but it's a weird objectification of Tommy. Character development gets 90. Storyline. I can almost imagine the boardroom that came up with the concept, smoking their big stogies, and let's what do other kids do? Let's make a movie where a girl goes crazy and kills everybody at the prom. Geez, boss, how they gonna pull that on off? Let's give her psychic abilities and she'll shut everybody in. Okay, boss, but what about the motive? Why is she gonna kill everybody? Because there's that one kid everybody picks on. It's gotta be hat.
Okay, boss, I'll send it over to the writers.
And then some poor guy had to write this thing to match the concept. That's really what it feels like. The writing's really well done. I just have no idea why it took that form. It's just like it's an hour and a half foreplay, 10 minutes action, and then let's cuddle for another 10. Storyline gets a 40. Compulsion. I did like the movie overall, but the minute to minute is kind of drawn out. We spend way too long in the exposition of building up who Carrie is, who she interacting with, setting up this whole plot to do the thing. Here's a girl, here's girls that don't like girls, here's some support, here's a setup, and here's the actual execution. What people are going to watch this movie for, unless it's academic, is going to be the scene where she goes crazy. Like, her exploring her powers is kind of cool. Getting to know her mom is vital. Honestly, it may have been more powerful if they had just cut out all the setup and then just shown that, like, who was behind it after it happened. Just so drawn out, by the time you get to anything interesting, you kind of don't care. I just wish for a little bit more. Compulsion gets a 40. Now, if you total everything up, we get an average of 65. For my rep review, I gotta say this is such a strange twist of writing concept and direction. The production was really good for its time, but they let it drag on too long in places. The actors did fairly well, and the directions was good for scene by scene, but the overall format and writing of the story, I think, is a little busted. And I hope as I get to go through it and watch the later versions, they managed to condense that and expand the action a little bit and keep things more interesting. I would really love everything before the prom to be about 20-30 minutes. Then she loses her mind and locks down the school, and she kind of goes around the school hunting them down as the horror monster. And then maybe even throw in like one person who's actually immune to her telekinesis. And then another scene could be where Chris and her boyfriend actually attack her a little bit more directly than spoilers, trying to run her over with a car, and play it up where she's the survivor of a massacre that happens at her school. Let the police escort her home, have mom attack her in front of the police, and the police escort her away to a nut house. This would allow for a decent sequel to build. The bottom line is that this doesn't feel like a horror movie. It feels like a coming-of-age drama. I think a lot of people should know Carrie academically, but if you're just looking to enjoy a movie, skip this one. You're really not missing that much. I think that's it for me. I'm Cam Rye. Have a nice day.